For this section, we're going to look at the cycle of performance. This is a powerful model, and before we get to it, I want to talk about one principle, and that is the principle of identity. And specifically, here's what I want you to keep in mind. The most powerful force in human personality is for us as human beings to remain consistent with the identity that we hold of ourselves. Okay? Keep that in mind as we go into the cycle of performance. Now, why the cycle of performance? Here's why. Number one, it's based on natural law. Number two, it is perhaps the simplest, easy to remember model that I've learned that helps you tremendously increase your effectiveness in integrating change and dealing with chaos in your life, which are two necessary things when you go from point A to point B in life, in business, in relationships, where point B is a higher order, it's a bigger result, it's a higher level of performance and achievement that you're seeking. Okay? So that cycle of performance, again, is based on natural law, and it is inevitable that you will absolutely go through the cycle of performance in order to reach your goal. You can abort the cycle, you can interrupt the cycle, but that's just going to delay you from reaching your goal, being point B, that desired state, that desired achievement, that desired end game that you want to get to. There are four phases in this cycle of performance. I'll say them out loud, and then I'll come back to each of them so that we can understand what they mean, how they work, and what we need to understand about them so that we can improve our chances of making it all the way to the end. The first one is inception, the second one is deception, the third one is transformation, and the fourth one is identity. Here comes that first principle that I mentioned. But let's go back to the first one, inception. Inception is the state that we all are at when we're about to embark on a new job, a new relationship, when we move to a new city, when we take on a new project, when we're given a new promotion into a new role within the company. And that is the state in which we are very associated and forward-looking, and we're very associated with a desired outcome, with a desired end result. That is a higher level, a higher order from where we are today. Okay? We know that there's going to be something that's going to have to change, but we are so associated and so connected to the vision and to the results and to the positive feelings, blue sky, honeymoon state, that we tend to undermine, we tend to underestimate, we tend to discount the challenges, the difficulties, the trials that we will face in getting there. That is important to understand, because here's why. The next phase is called deception. And see, in order to get through this whole cycle, the whole idea of a cycle is that we must go through each phase. We can't skip any of them, and we don't get stuck in any one permanently. So remember, inception. This is where we start every project, every new endeavor, every new challenge, every new opportunity. What's important about this state is that we're very much forward-looking, and the emotional characteristic, the emotional experience in the state is usually positive. But as soon as we make progress, that's key to understand, we go into the next phase. Incidentally, this phase of inception is also known as unconscious incompetence. We're not sure, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we're incompetent at. Soon enough, we get to that place of deception, which is also called conscious incompetence. Hey, we're finally realizing that this is taking longer, this is more challenging, this is more difficult, this is actually going to cost more than we originally thought. Is there any project in this world that did not get under budgeted for time, for resources, for money, that anybody's been involved with? Yeah, the exception proves the rule. That's because at inception,